Welcome to PPR podcast number 181, brought to you by the kind folks of the San Diego Strike Force. I am joined by Strike Force executive.
I can go behind it.
Yeah, there you go. Burt Grossman. Burt, we have another young, man, this county is not shy of talented quarterbacks.
Yeah, Mason's a little different, though. He's not the usual quarterback that started in fourth grade.
Yeah, and what do you know? There's Mason Walsh from Westview.
Westview High School.
And, you know, but what Burt was talking about is there's the quarterbacks that are from womb to pocket that are just groomed to be quarterbacks. And then there are guys who, hey, we just have to put our best athlete behind center. And then what do you know? Presto, it works out. I think you fall into that latter camp. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely.
We'll talk a little bit about it because as a sophomore, you're catching the ball. By a junior, you're throwing the ball. Talk about that transition.
Yeah, so my freshman year, we didn't have a quarterback on our freshman team, so I stepped up and started learning the quarterback role. And then my sophomore year, we had a talented senior quarterback, so I kind of just sat behind him, but they needed to find a way to get me on the field. So I played receiver and safety. And then last year, I took over as quarterback.
Now I remember because, you know, last year we do PPR highlights, and there was a Mason Walsh at Carlsbad too, and I used to always get confused, and it seemed like Mason Walsh was just killing everybody. And then I realized there's two of you. But I guess, you know, last year you threw for like 2,000 yards. Did you play? And you played like DB last year too, didn't you?
No, so I didn't play any DB this last year, but this year I'm playing some DB.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
So you're the starting quarterback playing defense as well?
Yes.
Year. This year?
Oh, you're playing DB this year too?
Yeah, this year. Last year I didn't play any DB, but this year I'm playing some DB.
You realize that's pretty rare, right? Usually people don't want to risk their quarterback getting run over or anything. I mean...
Yeah.
I would say...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a football player, so I just want to be out there helping the team whatever way I can.
So you don't consider yourself a quarterback?
No, I'm definitely a quarterback first, but if I can help the team out on defense and come down and hit people, which I love to do, then I'm going to do that too.
That sounds like Mangini from La Jolla Country Day a year ago.
Oh, yeah, he was doing that too, right?
I mean, you're in the Mangini camp, if you will. Are you familiar with that name?
Yeah, of course.
So you guys, because I saw this matchup and I was wondering how this happens. You guys were a Division III team, and then all of a sudden I saw you were playing Mission Hills, like a big open team pretty much. How did they get on your schedule?
Yeah, so we were supposed to do a Hawaii game this year, but it just didn't end up working out, just the logistics. So we were kind of late in the game, and we needed a week 2 game, and they were kind of the only people we could find. But it was fun to play them and get challenged, and a lot of respect to them for being classy and their coaches. It was a good experience for us.
I mean, watching the clips, no offense, but I've never seen a quarterback have to run for their life. So, I mean, you literally had... Usually you get 3 or 4 seconds. I think you had about a half a second at every pass, and I was like, God, this kid's gonna be sore on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we had an inexperienced guy at right tackle. Our tight end had to step up, and we also were rotating him with a freshman. So not totally their fault. I mean, our O-line was giving the best effort they could, and I was just trying to make some plays.
Well, if anything, it works on your quick release, does it not?
Yeah, most definitely.
You had a lot of hot routes on that one. And then you go back, and then this week you play your feared rival, Mount Carmel, correct?
Yep, big week this week, rivalry week.
Are you and Trevor friends?
We're casual. I mean, I wouldn't say we're friends, but there's no hard feelings.
But is there a competition, like who's going to shine?
Explain to the viewers who Trevor is.
All right, Mason, I'm going to let you pronounce Trevor's last name because I'll sound like him and I'll give out T-shirts. Trevor, say it.
I honestly have no idea how to say it. I'm probably going to butcher it too, but I think it's Tamoipiao.
Tamoipiao sounds right.
Tamoipiao?
Yeah.
Trevor, let's go back to Trevor.
All right, Trevor. He's the Mount Carmel quarterback. Similar. You guys are, I mean, if I switch uniforms, you guys kind of look the same. But, yeah, that's your big rivalry game, and it's not between you two to see, you know, a little stat war?
I mean, I just want to come out with the win. I'm not too focused on the stats, but there's also always a competition between quarterbacks. So.
Yeah, and Trevor doesn't play DB, so he's got the advantage over you.
Hey, I just want to go back to something. Did you ever meet the Walsh kid from Carlsbad?
No, I haven't. I've never met him.
You never met him?
You guys have the same name, play the same sport, and you've never met.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I got another question for you too, because I was watching your basketball. You know, you posted your basketball highlights.
Yeah.
I think out of your 20 plays, 19 were layups and you hit one jump shot. Why is that?
I mean, I get a lot of fast break points just trying to be athletic, be active. So a lot of it's layups. Don't have a lot of time to work on the jump shot, but I still got one. So they better not leave me alone.
Well, let's talk about being a two-sport star. How important is one to the other as far as developing? I mean, a lot of coaches are looking for kids that are multi-sport athletes. You fit that mold. Explain to me how one helps the other.
I think it's super important. Growing up, I played basketball. That was my main thing. So I think playing basketball has helped me translate to just making plays and being an athlete on the football field. And I think on the football field, just being physical and being able to now go box out a bigger guy just because I know how to get in there and use my leverage. I think that's important. But I think playing multiple sports is always super important.
Are you gonna play basketball this year?
Yeah. Yep. Senior year.
I saw you got invited that. We had another player, I forget who, the Tiki Bowl in Hawaii. Are you going to play in that?
I don't know. I got to see what the other options are. I kind of want to play in a local all-star game, so we'll just see what works out.
Paul can get you in the SDFNL.
Yeah, I can get you.
He's the CEO.
That'd be sweet.
I know the guys that run that pretty well. So talk about the team. I mean, obviously no one's talking about Westview being in the open division. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but when you're on a school that maybe gets the bright lights or the marquee, you're a good player on a team that's not getting that kind of recognition. What goes through your mind? A lot of kids with your ability would be looking for the next best opportunity. You've chosen to stay at Westview. Explain that decision.
I think just being true to the people around me. I mean, my coaches have invested a lot of time in me, and my school and administration just invested a lot of time into me. So I feel like me leaving would kind of be a backstab to them. So I think just staying true to my community and just trying to put Westview on the map. And I mean, last year made it to the semifinal game, almost made it to that first championship game in school history. So just trying to get back there again, but this time finish the job.
Yeah, people don't realize, I mean, you were almost got the championship game, but the year before you guys were like 0-11 or 1-10?
Yeah, 1-10, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty substantial turnaround.
But I'm sorry, I find your story much more interesting than the kid that hopscotched around and finds himself on a championship roster, maybe even gets a ring out of it. No, hey, listen, it's not my life, and I'm not going to pass judgment, but I find your story and your way of doing things far more interesting. You know, you're the Hollywood story. If you guys go on to win a ring or something, they're going to do a movie on you before they're going to do a movie on Joe Blow.
You?
Well, I mean, I was never good enough to hopscotch around, but
you grew up in rural Wisconsin. Would you have to? The next high school is like 300 miles away.
Yeah, so there was no transfer.
You ever see Footloose? That's where Paul grew up. Same kind of town. All right, I have to ask you this because I mean, again. I think you got Shane Dillon as your offense coach, and Nick Riccaduli's there now.
Yep.
Is he a force on social media or what?
Yeah, he is.
I see his name everywhere.
Nick's quite intense on the practice field, is he not?
Yeah, definitely. It's been nice having some new additions to the coaching staff for sure.
Has Nick threatened to put on the pads and beat somebody down or anything like that, or is he?
He's always talking about going out there and showing us his way of doing things.
Which is?
Just putting the pads on and running people over. Sometimes he'll get some scout running back reps and just try to run around. It's fun though. And he invented this thing, it's called the stick. It's a long stick with punching bags, and he gives 3 of them out. And so we got 3 extra defenders on the field that are just basically harassing the ball carriers till we get back to the huddle.
Oh, do you have any pictures of the stick?
I could get one, yeah.
Oh, please. Can you get it to me today?
Yeah, I can take one with him at practice today if you want.
Oh, dude, because I'm going to put this together and I want to make this one of the clips. Send me pictures or video of the stick today, as soon as you can today.
Okay.
Bring your phone out to the practice field and send it to me right away because we start cutting this up at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay.
What time do you practice?
I think practice today is at 4:30, but I could probably get there a little early.
Oh, if you could, it would make it so much better if we actually saw some examples of it.
Okay, yeah, I can get there early.
All right.
I could text Nick and get you a picture if not.
Oh, if you can. Well, either way, I don't want you to back off your mission. Get it for us. And if we get one earlier, then great. Okay. But either way, you have an assignment today.
All right, this is the other, because I follow you on Twitter, and I remember you posted something else that was interesting to me. Is it the Wolverine Athletic Foundation?
Yeah.
I saw you giving like a PowerPoint to like the parents and the incoming. Did you make that PowerPoint or were you just presenting it?
No, I was just had a little segment just trying to show the freshman parents like a player perspective program.
And what's that about, the Wolverine Athletic Foundation?
So we have a new foundation. It's just kind of an athletic foundation because we had the school foundation, but I think they wanted to help school focus a little bit more on athletics and just kind of supporting it. So our old quarterback's dad, Mr. David Harrod, he's done a lot for the school, repainted our stands, kind of repainted some of the schools, and that athletic foundation's been big in supporting just athletics and especially the football program.
So is this a fundraiser for the athletic programs?
I'm not entirely sure. I think that they do a portion of that, but I think it's also just bringing support and just kind of a foundation that focuses on athletics at the school.
All right, I need you to send me that as well. You could do that right after we hang up.
Yeah.
So you could send me that. We transfer it to me, so I have the whole thing. I'll run an excerpt of your bit. So so you're a campus. I mean, is it because of the position, or is it because of you that you're thrust into, or is it because of your age that you're thrust into a leadership role on campus?
I think it's kind of the position I'm in, but also just kind of how I carry myself. I think it's very important as a football player to be respectful to everyone and just kind of do my part at school and just make it a safe place for everyone and make it a better experience.
Yeah, you're nice. I see, like I said, back to the social, you're like so much nicer than us. Like you have a little brother that you're always promoting and pushing and giving him words that I didn't have a little brother, but I have two kids and they just beat each other up.
Yeah, and
what about you and your brother? Did you guys get along like that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm envious of that you know, I was terrible. I was a terrible older brother.
Yeah, he told me
I wish I could. I wish I could redo it. So that speaks to the parents, the adults in your life. Could you brag on them a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. My mom's raised me since I can remember. I mean, since I was a kid. So I mean, just being able to look up to her and kind of her teach me just how to be the person that she is. She's definitely my hero for sure.
And what's the best lesson she's taught you?
The best lesson she's taught me is just to be nice to everyone. I mean, regardless. I mean, always stand for what you believe in too. That's probably the main two things. Just be nice to everyone and always stand for what you believe in.
No, you are. That's for sure.
Young man.
You won't be regretful and bitter like us.
Yeah, but I need a picture of you and mom as well. So.
Okay.
So
are you putting every clip up?
All right. Well, no, I need the stick. I need the clip of you doing the foundation, and I need pictures of you and mom, and I need them as quickly as you can get them to me. All right, I promise I won't ask for any more.
You sure? That's it?
I promise.
Your 3 clips in?
Come on. You know, my parents and adults eat up the fact that kids.
Yeah.
Most kids, you know, I had an adversarial relationship with my parents when I was his age.
So did I.
And so I'm always envious and respectful of people who have gotten past that. Life is too short to ever be disrespectful to mom and dad. So what are your plans down the road? I mean, when you walk off the football field for the last time as a senior, are you done playing tackle football, or do you hope to continue that?
I definitely hope to continue. So just after the season, seeing what opportunities await me. But as of now, I'm just focused on enjoying my senior year and just winning games with my guys.
What is this goal? Because we talked, it's weird. Every team that comes on here, every player, depending on what school they're at, they all have a different goal. You know, if it's Lincoln, if they don't win the Open, everything's a failure. If it's another team might want to win Division I. But going into the season, what's the goal of your team? I mean, obviously to win your league first, but is it to win like D3? Is it to move up to D2 with your schedule?
I think it's to win a CIF championship, obviously after focusing on league, because I feel like since we got so close last year, I mean, we feel like we can get there. And with the new playoff format and the way things work out, seeing what division we get placed in, but just going out there and trying to win CIF.
And that's the beauty. I know some people hate that there's so many section champions. I personally think it gives a chance for everybody to experience the thrill of hoisting a trophy at the end of the season, and it gives everybody a chance in their own little weight division to have that. I subscribe to the way the CIF does it now, where there's multiple sectional finals.
I just don't like the part in the Open where, like, if you lose the Open championship, you can't play in any state games. I mean, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, then that could be addressed.
Yeah, like you look at Lincoln, Granite Hills, and it's like one of these teams can't go on and play in the state playoffs. That's insane to me.
Yeah. Hey, how are you guys going to deal with the heat index rules now? How hot does it get at Westview?
It doesn't get too hot. It gets a little hot, but we got the nice ocean breeze, so our athletic trainers do a good job of keeping us safe, and they got their little temperature out on the field. So just whatever they rule is what we're going to have to deal with.
Do you play? When do you practice? Oh, if you're practicing in the afternoon, you're going to be in the teeth of the heat today.
We got some film first, so hopefully it cools down by the time practice starts.
All right.
Yeah, and it's not like, so we're supposed to get a heat wave now on Thursday, but it's usually walkthrough day on Thursday anyway. That won't matter. But we were talking about the freshman games. If it's 102 or you get out to El Cajon, there's going to have to be some rescheduling and pushing
Some
back.
JV games might bite the bullet,
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
It's gonna be a hot one.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's been you're just starting your senior year, but right now, what's the moment on the football field that you like when?
Here's his question. He's going to want to ask you your favorite moment and your worst moment where you felt like crying.
There's a moment in 1978 that I have that I think about every day of my life. What is that moment that you think about every day of your life right now as it relates to anything athletic?
I think probably just the favorite part of kind of the Westview game day experience is we go in the locker room and our head coach, we do a player's code. And that's probably my favorite experience. We turn off the lights. We all do a moment of Wolverine silence and then do the player's code. And that just gives me chills every time. At the home games, we have the drum line in there banging on the drums. So I feel like that experience I'll always think about that.
See?
And the worst was losing the semis last year?
Or getting smeared by Mission Hills.
No, definitely the semifinals. I felt like I could have done more that game. So that game haunts me a little bit, but.
Do you want to hear Paul's moment in 78?
Yeah.
1978. It's a cold November day. Madison Edgewood is on the road taking on Marshfield Columbus. They have the scat back. I remember his name was Jones. He was 3 steps faster than I was. And they were running this toss to my side of the field over and over again. Chunks, 15 yards, 8 yards. No matter where I lined up, they would run inside me, run outside me. I could hear my parents heckling me, look out for 28, 28. Sure enough, it's a short 3rd and 2, and I have tears in my eyes because I'm getting completely molested in front of at least 2,000 people from Marshfield Columbus. And finally, this time I said, I just picked a spot. I didn't even watch the snap of the ball. The ball got tossed. Sure enough, they're running the toss play. And by the time he got the ball, I was across the line of scrimmage, and I hit him as hard as I hit any human being in my life. I could hear the air escape his body. The ball went loose. We recovered it, and I looked down on him, and his eyes were wide, and he had snot come. It was a true snot bubbler. It was the best football play of 18 seconds of my life. It was probably 9 seconds of my life. And I think about that every time I hop in the shower, every time I get up in the morning. I think about that play against.
You're embarrassing. Mason, granted, this was a JV game, just so you know.
It was a varsity game in front of 2,000 people on their homecoming. It was the best. People in my age group still talk about it when we get together.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
No, Mason, yeah, I know we talked about how polite, what a nice young man you are. You don't have to go this far. That is not awesome. He said scat back. Have you even heard that term, scat back?
No, I haven't.
All right.
Why are you like that?
What were the flankers like?
All right. So Mason, what's the worst moment? Oh, we already talked about it. We are the
semis.
Okay.
The semis.
Yeah. So then the basketball season starts without you then, right? I mean, you joined the team in progress.
Yeah, last year I missed our first tournament and then came and joined. So it just depends on how far we go in the playoffs.
So now are you a starter on the hoops team?
Yeah, I've been a starter since my sophomore year.
So do you get your spot right away, or do they go through the pomp and circumstance of you earning it?
Yeah, I definitely have to earn it. So probably the first game or two I'll come off the bench, but it just depends. Depends on how much I'm there practicing beforehand.
That layup machine.
Yeah.
Well, it's layup 2 points machine. Either way. What if he makes a jump shot, or why are you so?
You did have 1 or 2 jump shots in there out of about 20. And you were almost like Jimmy Chitwood on Hoosiers. You set up and did the
on the picket fence.
Yeah, you did the
I'll make it,
set,
coach.
And then.
Have you ever seen the movie Hoosiers?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So
that was kind of like that.
I'll make it, coach.
I'll make it, coach.
God, I get tears in my eye.
Oh, goodness.
Every time, I'll make it.
I'm sorry, Mason.
All right, Mason. So, best piece of advice you've received along the way from a coach is?
I think just the next play mindset, just being cool, calm, and collected. My OC, CCC. That's what he told me last year. So just really embrace that. Just staying level-headed throughout the game, because I feel like at the quarterback position, that's super important.
So explain to me what are the initials about?
Cool, calm, and collected. CCC.
Oh man, I should get that.
You should. You're not using that clip too. No, stop.
No, but I'm just saying that's a
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah,
That's you.
I fly off the handle, and then it takes me 20 minutes to get back to where I was. Cool, calm, and collected. What's your? I've always asked you what's the best advice you've ever gotten over the years?
I didn't take it. It was by Microsoft. And I never took the advice. This was literally 1996, and I didn't take the advice, of course. So that's why I'm here doing this, Mason. Exactly why I'm here.
So what do you have besides practice? What's on your Labor Day schedule?
Probably just some film study and practice, and that's about it. Just kind of in the grind of football right now.
All right.
Well, good luck. We're gonna be watching you and Trevor, the duel this
Yes.
Friday night.
And I promise, God, I'm gonna have to learn his name between now and then.
I think we should. If Trevor wins, we should have Trevor on.
All right, well, we'll look into Trevor, and then we can run this clip if you getting the name right and the rest of us getting wrong. All right, listen, we're gonna let you go. What do I need from you? Let's review quickly.
The stick, picture of my mom.
With you.
Or multiple pictures of your mom. Multiple pictures with mom. It could be 2, 3, or 4. I'll put them, as many as you give me, I'll put on the clip.
Okay.
This is the way it works, kid.
Wait, there's another one. There was 3.
Yeah, and his foundation clip.
Yeah, foundation.
We transfer that to me so I can edit with it. Young man, we're going to post the interview right now on YouTube, and then we'll start putting up excerpts on PPR's social media and mine. I'll tag you on everything I can, and we just appreciate you spending 20 minutes with us in PPR podcast number 181, brought to you by the San Diego Strike Force, and for that we are grateful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Mason,
have
a safe game Friday, and we'll see you down the road. Hopefully we'll see you at the game in December, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Mason Walsh, everybody. PPR podcast 181 is over.